get tackled. Before you can even think about it, there's going to be a bunch of other blue shirts on you. You have the ball. You have to do something. You can't hope that they're going to come to you. You can't hope, oh man, maybe if I wait a little bit longer, I'll get a little bit of courage, and then maybe I'll. You're done. You've got to be in the game. You've got the ball. The light's shining on you. You've got to know that, and you've got to. One thing, I hope everybody will understand what I mean by this, but the next one on there is, you are a cool neighbor with the latest information. You're not an employee biding your time. You're not like, oh, I got 2 hours left. You're not an employee that hopes maybe someone, oh, maybe he'll be, oh, he's not, oh, maybe he'll, no. You're a cool neighbor, and they're your neighbors. And guess what? They're also cool. They're really cool. They like you, and you like them. Now, I don't ever think you should walk up and say, hey, guy, I like you. I mean, that's goofy, but you should think it. You really should. You're seeing someone coming. You're like, I'm going to talk to this guy, and I like him. And so then you're going to say whatever you say. You're a cool guy with the latest information. You're not an employee, and they're a cool person. Now, if they pass you by, they're in a hurry. It's no big deal. If they wave you off, it's all right. They got in a fight with their spouse that morning. It's no big deal. They're a cool neighbor. They're going to come back later. So you got to keep that mindset. I think it's important, and you've got to have that good combination of confidence and respect. I'm confident. I know my stuff. I know that I know things that they don't know, but I also respect them, and they feel that just because in my mind I'm thinking, I like you, I respect you. I don't say it, but I feel it inside, and they get that. Next slide. So the next big thing to do is physical exertion. Now, some of you guys are probably like, now what is he talking about? But any of you guys who are getting a lot of leads know what I mean. You have the ball. You can't wait. You have to run. Now, I want to confess something. There have been times when I started talking to a person, and all of a sudden in my mind I thought, oh, now I've got to transition to the next part, and I'm really tired. And I've said this to someone 18 times today, and nobody said yes yet, and I wonder if he's going to say yes, and am I just wasting my energy? And I've lost when I do that. It's physical exertion. It's okay. It takes energy to do it. To transition from one thing to the next thing, you've got to be on point. You've got to have that physical exertion. If you're dragging, and if you're not up on point, you're going to lose the deals. You can pause in conversations, but never pause because you're tired. Trevor, when I pause in the mall, it's for effect. But I am on top of it. I know what the next thing I'm going to say. I'm ready to go. And even though sometimes I struggle with being tired, I've learned my lesson. If I pause because I'm tired, I've lost the deal. And then you've got to use that physical exertion to glide through through what I call the 3 key transitions. And I hope everyone's listening at this point, because I think this is why I'm getting appointments. I'm in the game mentally. I physically, I know I've got to be there. And this is the next part. Next slide. Okay, so these are my 3 transitions. You've got to transition from one thing to the next. I was watching one of the guys on our team just the other day, and he started saying things, and he sounded great, and he had high energy, and he was really on point, and then he didn't transition, and so the guy's like, okay, thanks so much. Listen, I'll give you a call. I promise, I'll give you a call. You think that guy called him? No. Okay, so my 3 transitions is transition 1. You guys can say whatever you want at the mall. Hey, have you gone solar? Why haven't you gone solar yet? Whatever works for you, do it. But I'm going to tell you what I say. I say, hey, can I give you one of these? I'm mentally there. I'm physically there. Hey, can I give you one of these? Because they're thinking they have to stop for a second. What are you going to give me? Is it Snickers? Is it like a free coupon? When you do that, it makes them pause. If they pause even 1 millisecond, Trevor, even a slight pause, that's my, tacit invitation to say a little bit more. When I say, have you gone solar yet? Nope. And they keep walking. So can I give you one of these? They pause just a little bit. See, and then I change from employee to neighbor. See, the reason why we're in the mall is because most people think that you have to buy solar. But the world has changed now. You probably noticed that there's solar all over your neighborhood. So that's my first transition from can I give you one of these to changing to the neighbor who says, you know what, the reason why we're in the mall, almost like I lower my voice just a little bit, like I'm going to tell you a secret. You're my good neighbor, okay? So then we talk a little bit. We give them some explanations. We give them some assurances. Here's my next transition. I don't wait very long. I don't wait for them to say, oh my gosh, I love that. That's really cool. Yeah. No, I go right to the next thing where I say, and so my job, what I do for a living is I set appointments, and it's really easy. I come to your house. I look at the pitch of your roof. I look at the trees around there, and you might not qualify. But if you don't qualify, it's okay. You don't have to pay anything. I'm going to do this for free. But if you do qualify, then, you know, we can tell you more about the program and you'll not have to pay anything out of pocket. So that's that next one. See, my job is, and here in New York, people respect that. Everyone's working so hard, probably all over the country. My next transition, Trevor, is, okay, so we talk a little bit longer, and then this is really important, and I say, you know what, so let me just show you, and I pull out my calendar. Now we're gonna have some new lead generation software coming out, and you can transition in that way too. And maybe I'll talk about it another time. But I just grab my calendar. I say, see, you can see from my calendar that this is a very popular program. My nights fill up all the time, but my days are pretty clear. I'm a lot more flexible in my days. Do you ever have a day where you can do it, or is nights really the only time? Nights are better. Well, I do have this Thursday. Tuesday and Wednesday are full, but I've got this Thursday at 7:30. Can we come out there? It won't take too long. So that's my next transition. You've got to transition to, so what I do. So let me show you my appointment book. You can't just wait for them to say, yeah, I like that. Why don't you get out your appointment book and we'll book up an appointment. That never happens. You've got to transition correctly. Next slide. So they're all important, right? In-home consultant, pipeline manager, but you've got to be a great appointment getter. And if you're mentally in the game, if you exert yourself physically, and if you can master those 3 key transitions, I promise you, you'll get more appointments, and then everything else will flow from there. Thanks, guys.
That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Molly, we oughta send this section out in an email so everybody has these best practices. I don't know if we've done that before, but these are really, really important nuggets for our mall business. And obviously, Andy and Heather are doing it as good, if not better, than everybody else out there. So love it, man. Andy, really good stuff. I love the transition piece. I love how you're greeting. Can I hand you one of these? You know, kind of extend your arm out there with the palm card. And you guys have turned it into an art form. Like it's incredible. So good work. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your busy schedule and hopping on here and sharing.